How's it going, everybody? We do have the PlayStation Plus leaks for the month of October, at least a partial leak for the month of October. I don't know, pretty decent all things considered, at least what we're seeing thus far, so let's just get right into it and let's talk about it. The Callisto Protocol is noted to be game number 1, and game number 2 is Farming Simulator 2022. Callisto Protocol, I feel like, is a relatively big coup for PlayStation Plus. At the same time, is it a game that blew me away? No, I've been pretty vocal about that fact, but I think as a part of a PlayStation Plus lineup, a game like this is actually perfect to have in the catalog and give it to people. And, you know, the game didn't do gangbuster numbers, as we are all well aware of. They were looking to sell 5 million copies, Krafton, that is. It was Striking Distance Studios' debut title, and just when you're talking about people gunning for ambitious numbers like that for a new IP, yes, I can understand why you would be gunning for that number if you're a Bethesda and you're doing your first new IP in 25 years or whatever it was for Starfield, but with Callisto Protocol, those are crazy expectations to have for a game at this caliber, and I really think it's a case study. This game and Immortals of Aveum as well. Not every new IP needs to be this gargantuan big budget title, and I just think it would do a lot of good in scaling these games back a little bit. What did I like about Callisto Protocol? So the visuals were great. I thought technically speaking it looked really good. I thought the atmosphere and the tone for this game was so strong, really well done there, and for a horror game, that is probably the most important element in my opinion that you need to nail, just getting the tone right, getting the atmosphere right, and making it an engrossing experience. And I feel like Callisto Protocol did that up to a point. And that point was when you actually played the game and you played the lackluster gameplay, because that is really what held this game down. The gameplay, the dodge mechanics, I was just not a big fan of it. I know people talked about, oh, you gotta use all of these different weapons and whatnot, but I really thought this game fell short in terms of having a gameplay style that would be enjoyable, and some of the kills were absolutely vicious. The game is a grotesque game in a lot of ways, and I say that in a good way, but when the gameplay is as mediocre, and mediocre maybe putting it lightly for the Callisto Protocol, I do think that is going to be a shortcoming for the game. Ultimately, it was also a $70 game that was very, very short and didn't have a ton of replayability. I know that there are people out there that are absolutely gigantic fans of the game, and also a lot of those people that I've seen in our comment section and whatnot were like, yeah, well, I picked up the game for $20. Well, yeah, obviously at a $20 price point, it's a much more quality-filled pickup than a $70 price point that a lot of you guys probably did and were ultimately a little bit disappointed by. I still think there's things to like about the game. We're never gonna get a follow-up for this game when it's a commercial disaster, as the game was, which is also sad to think about, that we're at a point where 2 million copies sold is considered to be a commercial disaster, when there are so many games out there that would kill to sell 2 million copies, but it's obviously an investment versus a return type of game. Like, it was a lot of money to get Callisto. I believe it's 160 million that it cost Callisto Protocol, which is insane to think about. I just say I'm a broken record with it, but I wish we could scale these games back a little bit, you know, scale down the development time and the window for the games, and also alleviate some of the pressure off the developers. Like, If I'm a part of Striking Distance Studios, and I'm sure that studio is filled with a lot of talented people, but having an expectation of 5 million copies, so like that's a gargantuan expectation that I just don't know how many games are going to be able to reach that milestone, and yeah, it's just unfortunate. And they did have a DLC plan in place for Callisto Protocol that ultimately probably wasn't that, you know, that didn't stir up a lot of excitement either, but the game itself, I think it's a worthwhile playthrough at a good price, or in this case, as a part of a PlayStation Plus subscription. I think it's like the perfect kind of game, because even if you spend $30, $40 on it, it is a super short game, and I think just having it as a part of Plus, it's a good headlining title that people are going to be like, okay, I definitely had some interest in that game when it launched, but ultimately that interest fizzled away when the reviews weren't that stellar. And it's always gonna, like, it's my opinion that Callisto Protocol is a mid-game. I always tell people, you gotta play a lot of these games for yourself. Like, you know, there's a lot of games that we live and die by these Metacritic scores and whatnot, but a 70 title may resonate with you a lot more than it does me, and vice versa. The vice versa is true as well. Like, I love the Deadpool game that they released like a decade ago, and it's unfortunate that you can't buy that game anymore, but that game got kind of panned in the reviews, and I love that game, and it really introduced me to Deadpool. And, you know, for you, Callisto Protocol might be that title, because look at the comment section. There's probably going to be a ton of people that are going to be like, I'm unfair to to Callisto Protocol, and that's their opinion, and they're totally entitled to it. And as I've said, I do concede to the fact that there's a lot of quality elements with Callisto Protocol. I just think the gameplay was unfortunately a deal breaker for the title. Also, on top of Callisto Protocol, it does look like you're going to be getting Farming Simulator 22, which, like, I'm going to be real. I'm not into these simulator games. Like, Power Wash Simulator is as far as I'll go. Nah, like, Power Wash Simulator is pretty cool, but Farming Simulator, like, people are super into it, man. It's got 39,000 Steam reviews, 91% positive. What's it rocking on Metacritic? Since you know we gotta live and die by those scores. But yeah, the game's been a solid reception. Farming Simulator has been around for so long that obviously, like, it resonates with people. So, like, who am I to say that this isn't a good offering? But it's just like, I would think if you're a fan of these farming sim games, like they've been around for a while, that aren't you buying the latest entries? 75 on Metacritic, certainly not a bad score there either, and it typically goes for $40, and right now it's on sale on Steam for $32. There is DLC with this game, Platinum Edition at $40, Premium Edition at $44, and then a Year 1 bundle at $48. Man, oh man, they are monetizing Farming Simulator. That is fantastic, but nonetheless, and they're probably going to get a healthy check from Sony for Farming Simulator 22 being available on Plus Essential. So we have to say, Callisto Protocol Farming Sim, that's an okay lineup of titles for now. Like, Callisto Protocol is a game that you're still gonna be spending $20 on. Please let it be like the PS4 and PS5 version. Could you imagine if it was only the PS4 version? Callisto Protocol is one of those games with the $10 price differential, so that would just be a train wreck. But yeah, that's a fine addition. It will be interesting to see what the third game added is. There probably will be a third game. I don't remember any time where Sony's only done 2 games for PlayStation Plus, although Microsoft, towards the tail end of Game Pass, was going that route, and with more emphasis being put on Plus Extra and Plus Premium. I don't know. Let's not jinx it. Let's not put the bad juju out there, but, like, who knows? Who knows? I've been around the block for a little bit, and sometimes we see when it comes to subscription services, your value usually lessens over time instead of exponentially increasing. So usually it's the price goes up and the value either stays the same or it goes down. So, you know, just keep that in mind and we'll see how things go out. But Callisto Protocol is a game I would recommend everybody to give a shot to, especially if you're a fan of horror games and, like, the ambiance is what does it for you. I think a lot of people will be pleasantly surprised, even if it wasn't necessarily a game that I really enjoyed. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there and let me know. Callisto Protocol Farming Sim 22 seems okay as a starting point, and hopefully Plus Extra delivers as well. That's all for me. Sound off down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.